Thanks for staying with us. Time now for a sweet treat ahead of the Easter weekend, like we need more sweet treats.
Speaking of sweet treats, Edward Hayden is here to whip up a delicious cheesecake. Edward.
They don't come sweeter.
They certainly don't, Edward.
How are you doing?
Asha, we're grand. We're looking forward to this.
Absolutely. This sounds like a good breakfast to me.
It is a fantastic breakfast. You'll be thinking of me Easter Sunday morning when you're kind of wolfing in another slice of this, Shiva. It's absolutely gorgeous. And I just think, you know, Easter Sunday, I suppose, in terms of a dining perspective, it's a bit like Christmas Day. People tend to have family around. We tend to extend our house to the kind of the wider family, whether it's for that lovely leg of lamb. So therefore, I thought I'd make a lovely showcase dessert as well. And this is a real cut and come again dessert. So it's a nice kind of a large dessert that you can just keep slivering off for the weekend.
I love that.
So very simply, what I've got here is I've just got some digestive biscuits, which I've just crushed up in my food processor.
How do you crush them now?
I have a little food processor that I sometimes do.
You don't do it the old-fashioned way.
You don't slap them off the counter.
Well, yesterday I did it in the food processor, but sometimes I would throw them in the bowl and use the end of the wooden spoon.
If you're having a frustrating week, that can feel good.
Oh, listen, if that was the case, I'd be at it every day. Now, so I'm just combining that. Yeah, I'm doing that too. I'm just going to add in some melted butter into those, okay, just to coat all of those together. Now, whilst I'm using digestive biscuits here today, you might decide to use a kind of a chocolate biscuit, or you could use like a hobnob or a kind of a cookie or something like that. So you can really play around with the options that you have.
But the digestive is the sort of classic, isn't it?
It is the classic, for sure and certain. It's the classic. Then what I've got is I've got my cheesecake tin, my springform tin. Make sure it's closed, and I'm just going to build that straight onto the platter, just like so.
And you don't want too much butter, like it's not soggy, it's barely wet,
I don't want it, because, you know, Shiva, there's nothing as bad as when you kind of go into a restaurant or something and like the base of the cheesecake is literally rock hard. It's absolutely rotten when it is that hard. So I want the base to be nice and crumbly, just like so. So then, using my potato masher or a spoon or something, I'm just going to squash that right the way down, just to make sure that it's nice and level in there, just like so. But the beauty of building it straight on the plate, as I'm doing, is that you don't have to worry later on about trying to transfer it onto the plate, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
So in terms of the topping then, the topping is really, really simple and interchangeable, which I'll tell you about in just a second. So I'm using some cream cheese there. I'm just going to pop that into my mixer, and I'm going to add to that some icing sugar. So a little bit of icing sugar going in there as well, just to sweeten it a little bit for you. So start creaming that together, and that's the thing. You do need to kind of cream it bit by bit, okay? So I'm going to cream that together.
Gradual
I can
creaming.
just tell you what I've done then whilst I'm waiting. I've made a mixed berry puree, Alan. So this is fresh or frozen mixed berries, a little bit of sugar, so like 2 tablespoons of water, 1 tablespoon of sugar, and about 6 ounces, 175 grams of fresh or frozen berries. I've brought those to the boil, and then using my immersion stick blender, I've just blended those down until they've got a really nice puree. And here what I've got is I've just got 1 little pack of jelly, which I've just melted with like a spoon of water or 2, just like so. So here we have it. I'm happy enough with that, getting nice and light. And then using your spatula, I'm going to add
There's more to this than I thought now.
Oh, Alan, there's more to everything than we all think, you know. That's the lesson in life, I think. If we've learned anything over the Lenten period, we can learn that. So here what I've got, and that's creamed up nicely. I'm going to add to that then about 300 millilitres of whipped cream, which is just loosely whipped, okay?
No calories.
And not at all. And then I'm going to add some of the Irish yogurt Clonakilty. Now, I'm using the Gut Health Kefir this morning, and we've got either a strawberry or a summer berry, so you can use whichever you want, or interchangeable if you so desire as well. So I'm going to put in the full pot of that, okay? So that has that lovely strawberry flavour, and also there's a nice sharpness, obviously, with the kefir as well. And we're also mindful now of gut health, that we're all heading down the road, and it's absolutely delicious. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that back onto my machine,
and mix it again.
And I'm just going to give that a nice little mix again. Now, again, one of the things I will say to you is, you know, be mindful of making sure it is all mixed together really, really well. So again, that's why the scraping down is really key from the get-go. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to just add in next my mixed berry puree. So So again, this lovely mixed berry puree. You might keep back a little bit for your porridge, but you see the change of colour there. We've got that
beautiful.
lovely kind of like a crimson aubergine colour for all the world.
Yeah, and you could use that puree for a lot of things, couldn't you, if you have some left over?
Absolutely. It's gorgeous for your purees, your pancakes, everything like that. Then my jelly, which I've let cool a little bit, so I just have that done about 10 or 12 minutes there. I'm just going to pour that in at this stage.
And is that what makes it set, Edward?
That's going to be the setting agent, absolutely. That's your fabulous setting agent. And then I'm literally just going to increase that for a second or two. And then I'm going to turn that off. And I'm happy enough with that. Now, what I will do is I'll go deep sea diving just at the bottom of my bowl.
Yeah, because there's a lot of stuff around it.
Absolutely. I'll go deep sea diving with my spatula just before I get that in, just to fold it in. But by moving it in the get-go, it's literally just any residual cream that may have stuck there for you. So there we have it. Now, whilst I'm doing it in the traditional cheesecake format today, you might decide to do that in lovely glasses, you know?
Oh, yeah, individual ones.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's fancy,
Which is
isn't it?
absolutely lovely, if you know who's coming. Our house is always like a train station. You never know who's arrived, so you could never get away with something like that.
Okay.
Now, there we have it. So spread that out very simply, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer that into the fridge. So
Okay.
again, I'd spend a little bit more time just perfecting that out. And here,
How long does it set? Would you leave it overnight, Edward?
You would need to leave it overnight to really kind of get
That
yourself
looks
out
beautiful.
of jail.
Look
and
at
there,
that.
very quickly,
Give
I'm
us a
just going to
taste
show
there.
you how to finish that off. So I'm just going to put a little bit of more yogurt or cream on the top of that. I'm going to spread all of that on. And then what I've got is I've just got some gorgeous bits of jam. I've got a little bit of chocolate there as well.
Thank goodness Lent is over today.
There you have it. It's all
And
game over.
will you put the other berries on top of
I
it?
certainly will, because again, I worked with a lady 100 years ago,
Edward,
and she used to always tell
can
us.
I have a little taste?
Of course you
Would you
can.
wait now? He won't give it to you.
Perfect.
He won't give it to you until he has
I know
literally
you're
put it on.
Now there we have it. Look, talk about a woman putting me under pressure.
Sorry,
Now,
sorry, I know what
there
I
you
want.
have it.
And then a bit of chocolate as
A
well.
little bit of chocolate, and I've just got some
Look
lovely
at that. That
looks
mini
gorgeous.
chocolate here as well. And that is really just something that you could bring to the middle of the table.
Yeah.
Few little Easter eggs on
I'm
the
coming
top.
to your house on Easter Sunday.
Well,
Edward.
listen,
If
to
this is-
fault your eyes.
If this is what I can be expecting now.
Look at
This
that.
what you can be
gorgeous.
expecting.
That looks amazing. Now,
So it's
fairness.
lovely. Now listen, if people at home you'd have a second longer than I had just to finish it off. And
I know
get
you hate being
really-
rushed like that. You love your decoration.
Oh my God!
Sorry,
the devil is in
Edward.
the detail.
You
The
love your
devil is in the
decoration.
detail.
I'll never be
No.
forgiven for that now, will I?
Listen, only because I absolutely love you.
Aw.
Now, there we
I'm
have
going
it.
to get a
Now,
little
let
bit
me
of
have a little
chocolate on
taste.
top
To
of
get the
that.
chocolate on the top. So there's your lovely cheesecake, and wishing everybody a very happy and holy Easter, and hopefully they'll make the cheesecake. That's key.
Edward, that is absolutely delicious.
Isn't it gorgeous?
Yeah, very fruity, very yogurty. I love it. Thank you so much. Well done.
To fault your
Thank you
eyes.
so
Your
much.
maggots.
Now, coming up after the break, Derek takes us on a tour of Dublin's very own secret garden, a hidden gem in the middle of Dublin. We'll see in a few minutes. Oh.